Alrighty, welcome to day 5 of a freaking Canadian motorcycle odyssey. Really happy to say that we got our first video of this season online last night, thanks to Ashley and me. We now have a process, so I feel confident that these videos will be coming up on a semi-regular basis as we do things. And big thanks again to Ashley, our executive producer, for adding her Asherific little bits to this whole video and making it fun in a different way. So thank you, Ash. So we've been riding for a little bit now. We left Wawa a bit. We've got a reasonable amount of ground to cover. We're going to a place called Nipigon. We got a place on a lake in Nipigon. It's still quite cool here at nights, and so we've just decided, hey, yes, we're going to camp a lot, but we don't want to overtax ourselves in the beginning by having horrible night sleeps and then riding long distances. So we're a little more Airbnb friendly for the next little while, and that's what we got in Nipigon. Looks nice, a little white cabin, that should be fun. But yeah, about 325k up the road. So that's a pretty good day of riding. That's probably like 3 decent stints. And it's going to get really beautiful. We knew that for a while we'd be going mostly through trees. It's still been a great road. But at some point we're going to swing around back over the top of Lake Superior, and Collier does it really amazing then as well. Alright, another update from the road. It's about 11:30. Morning. We've really been making some great time. We haven't really had that scenic, I mean, it's beautiful, but just that super scenic kind of experience we had yesterday. We haven't really run into that yet. I think it's still coming, but we're coming up on a place called Marathon, Ontario. I think we'll at least stop there for a coffee and maybe a little sweet something to energize us a bit. But the truth is, we've come quite a few kilometers already today. I wasn't really paying attention, but I think we've probably done 130 or 140, and we had 325 total. So I think we're under 200 to our final destination already. And that's largely because, well, there hasn't been a whole lot to see. The roads have been good. I mean, as you can see, these roads are in good repair. They've been relatively empty, and the speed limit's high. So we've largely cruised our way along, and at these speeds the roads are fun. They're gentle sweepers, they're slight ups and downs, so it's been interesting, and again, covering a lot of ground. Now the one potential fly in our soup, so to speak, I suddenly now imagine Ashley putting in a picture of a soup with fly in it. But anyway, when we started this journey out, any of you who watched our Odyssey last year know that we went through a lot of rain, cold and rain. And so this time we said, well, you know, we can only control so much, but we can control when we leave. And let's try to leave at a time when it doesn't look like there's rain forecast for the near future. And you know, it's hard to do because our route keeps changing, and so you can only look so many days ahead. But we did that, and we kind of tried to make sure we had sun through Manitoulin Island, and we did. And then we had beautiful sun all day yesterday. And I mean, today we're getting some cloudiness, and apparently we may run into some rain or showers. Alright, reporting in from Marathon, Ontario, where we just had sort of two dramatic events. One dramatic event, pulled in our bikes for gas, as you see, and whatever. Oh, jeez. And for whatever reason, when I'm getting off my bike, you might notice I have to do a sort of stretching the leg off the bike, and somehow my pant leg got caught on my bag on the back here, and it tripped me up. I was off balance, so I fell backwards and I pulled the bike off balance, and it
fell on top of me. Now, no huge deal. My bike is made to fall, quite honestly. It's got a lot of protection and stuff, and it turns out there's a bunch of bikers here, so it's embarrassing. But they all came running and got my bike back up easily, and so that part was fine. You're gonna drop a bike. I dropped it. This wasn't really my fault. Well, I mean, I got to be careful taking my leg off, I guess. But then there's the second drama. The second drama was we have one key for all these bags, and it's on. Where's my little moose? It's on a little moose here.
Where's your moose?
Which is coming to us from Cape Breton Island, by the way. It's got my one key, and as I went through things, it's like I couldn't find it. Couldn't find it anywhere, and I have to say we do this once or twice a day. When you're riding like this, almost everything you have is critical. And you know, you stay in places, different place every time, and you try your best to keep track of everything, but it's so easy. I mean, I even try to put things in the same pockets every time so I know where they are. But I think, once a day or twice a day, we're like, oh my God, I can't find this. We're in trouble.
Or a Garmin or a key.
We were ready. We made great time this morning. Yeah. We did like about 200K of the 325 we have to go. And, you know, I was feeling really good about the time we made. And I was sure that we were going to have to go all the way back those 200K just to get that key. Come all the way back, which we couldn't have pulled off. So at any rate, as I'm checking every pocket, it's all gone. And then I had this memory that I wore my heated vest while I was getting things ready, and then I took it off and put it in my bag. And I, of course, put the moose in the pocket of the heated vest, which I never have done all trip. That's what kills you when you do something a little different.
Good thing we didn't go back to Wawa.
Yeah, so all to say, everything's fine. Bikes are filled up. We're going to probably go into Marathon. There's a Tim Hortons in Marathon.
Yeah, there's also a restaurant. I can't think of the name now.
I hear you.
No, another 2K or so down the road.
Okay, we're gonna do something. We're gonna take a break, get a coffee, feel good that we get to keep our 200K that we got under our belt, and another lesson learned: try to keep that moose where it's supposed to be, man, because that moose is critical. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's see, a little bit of clouds.
They're good. Wow, I know. We've been coming out of them a little bit.
A little bit of clouds back there. Anyway, all good.
No rain.
You probably couldn't even hear me anyway. Welcome to Somewhere on Highway 17. We seem to have hit a snag. Far as the eye can see. So we're not sure what's going on up here. It's beautiful. It's a nice spot. Oh, it looks really nice here. I'll show you some of the foliage and such. Yeah, we had the lake. We are now at that spot where there's the Lake Superior just to our left over there. Still drizzly, rainy drizzly, so we're riding through that. But otherwise, we just kind of came to this stop, and it doesn't look like anyone's moved for a while. So we don't have far to go. That's the good news. We're not going anywhere. That's the bad news. So.
I want to be like a bike.
Now, we did want to mention something about this road that Susan and I were talking about earlier. So when we get to Thunder Bay, there's a monument in Thunder Bay to Terry Fox. And that's where he had to stop as he was going through. So when you see the footage of Terry Fox, you often see him running on a road with a support vehicle behind him. And we realized this seems to be the road. From my memory, this is what I remember seeing. This is sort of backdrop. And so certainly he ran this road. It's the only road you really can run that would go from where he was to Thunder Bay. So, you know, kind of almost seeing the ghost of Terry Fox on the road as we run. And we are hoping that when we get to Thunder Bay, we can go visit the memorial spot for him there. Yeah, we'll check that out. Oh, hey, how you doing? Caught us doing some trip planning for tomorrow. Well, we got to do our wrap up. So here we are in our cozy log cabin in
Gurney?
what, Gurney?
Gurney?
Yeah, what's
Near
the actual
Gurney.
lake out there is called?
Oh, it's Lake Superior.
No, it's not Lake Superior.
Well, it's Nipigon Bay on Lake Superior is part of Lake
Okay,
Superior.
anyway, here we are. And we made it through our day of drama, is what I would call this,
Yeah.
because we had a bunch of little dramas, anywhere from the bike falling over to losing the moose, to getting stuck in traffic and then dealing with rain, but then ultimately getting some beautiful riding on the way home.
Hello. I'm taping this. You're seeing a nice rainy road ahead. Rainy, but not raining. Well, sort of misting, I guess. But relative to some of what we've done earlier today, this is fine. So we're in the final stint. Oh, some nice Lake Superior action over there. We're in the final stint after sitting behind that accident for a long time. We finally got away from that. And we went about 50K, and we got to Terrace Beach, I forget. But anyway, we got there and had a good meal. Nice veggie calzone, a little bit of tomato soup. We feel re-energized, at least enough to just do this last little stint. The last little stint being about 48 minutes worth, at least when we left, and well, hey, it's not optimal. It's past 5 o'clock at night. By the way, we've done over 1,300K on this Odyssey, but yeah, it's past 5 o'clock at night. We'd rather be in our Airbnb, and we would have been, of course, if not for an hour and a half being stuck on the road, not able to do anything.
Came back to this, or we found this. It took us a while to find this cabin, by the way. We had to go down this sort of dirt, hard-packed road, but we managed to find our way eventually. And nice cozy cabin when we walked in. Feels really good. Well, other than all the taxidermy we could do with less taxidermy. That's 2 days in a row of taxidermy.
Really.
But it's a hunting, fishing cabin. And it turns out there's a bunch of different cabins in this place, and there's people who come down regularly, and so we got to meet some of those people at the campfire.
People have been coming like 23 years.
Yeah. All right, I was rudely interrupted because I ran out of space on my iPhone, so I had to delete a bunch of stuff, and might have to delete more stuff. Man, we just started this trip. Managing tech.
We might have to buy a new card.
Oh yeah. So at any rate, I think we were just saying that we found this place, which was a little cabin that we booked, and I'll give you a little bit of a feel so you see. Yeah, there's nice fish behind me, but overall, it's got kind of a log cabin kind of vibe to it. Yes, that's some sort of critter up there. I don't know. And cute little bear.
But it's warm and it has a bathroom.
But
and
yeah.
It has a bed.
But it's warm, yeah. And it's actually a collection of different cottages, and it turns out, yeah, different people rent these, including this is a regulars group here. So they have a fire down by the lake, which is, if I can give you a sense out the window. So there's a lake right out there, and there's a fire by it, and they all kind of hang out there, and so it's good. We hung out and chatted with a bunch of them and got to know them, and it was nice.
Nice.
So you kind of have the option. You can kind of come back to your cabin if you want a little bit of privacy. You can go out there if you want a bit of social life. A bunch of nice.
Fire was very hot.
Fire was warm, which was nice.
It was a huge fire.
Yep. So yeah, now we're back, just trying to figure out what we're gonna do tomorrow. And we think our rough plan is to start by going to Thunder Bay, which will be about 150K or something like that, right? So probably get us there for lunch, or maybe even earlier than lunch. Looking for the Terry Fox thing in Thunder Bay. And then we'll either just have a coffee and something there, or depending on what time it is, maybe we'll have lunch. and then we got to figure out where to go from there. And so we found an interesting little factoid from our friends here. We thought that the time change happened when you hit the Manitoba border, but it doesn't. It turns out it happens at some place around Ignace, Ontario, which we could reach tomorrow. That's one possible destination. It's 384, I think. So a little far, maybe. We may not quite reach it, or we may. And so we'll figure that out when we're in Thunder Bay tomorrow. And yeah, otherwise I don't think there's anything else to report today. I think we pretty much hit it all. So that's where we're at, day 5.